So I dropped, wait, 7 pounds, 7 pounds. With Bobby Both Medical Aesthetics, and I wanted to get on and share with you that today I am starting the Prolon 5-day fasting mimicking diet for metabolic health. We do offer this here at the spa. A lot of you probably have seen on previous stories kind of all of the information that goes along with doing the Prolon diet. It's 5 days fasting program that provides you with amount of calories per day to eat, and everything is provided for you in segmented boxes. So today I started day 1. What's nice is that they also provide a little meal plan for you, so then you know exactly what you're eating at each time of day throughout the week. So for breakfast on day 1, I'm allowed 1 herbal tea, 1 L-bar nut-based, and 1 chocolate bar, and then 2 elegant oils. So this will provide me with enough energy for the morning in order to kind of satiate myself throughout the day. But I also get a lunch, an afternoon snack, and then dinner as well. So what's really awesome too, everything is broken down into nutrition. So everything that I'm putting into my body, I can then go and reference exactly how many calories are in it, carbs, fats, and proteins, in order to really understand the full nutrition. I'm really excited for this. I decided to do Prolon just because I haven't really gotten myself back on track after the holidays, and I've had a few really fun weekends of just splurging, and I'm someone that I really enjoy eating clean and healthy, and I know this system is going to help me kind of jumpstart that in my metabolism. There's also a lot of added health benefits, which I'll talk about throughout the week with you. But here's to day 1. I'll check in at the end of the day as well to kind of let everyone know how I'm feeling, but really excited for this, so stay tuned. All right, everyone, today is day 2 of the Prolon for me. So I pulled out everything that I get for breakfast. It's really nice. I know I showed you guys, but it gives you that meal plan, so it really allows you to keep track of what you should be eating at what time of day. So here's breakfast, day 2. I pulled out the herbal tea, the L-bar, and the FMD chocolate. The L-bar was also in yesterday's breakfast. These are really good. They actually just taste like a Luna bar to me. Compared to some of the other things in the box, this is probably my favorite. The FMD chocolate, not the best chocolate, but it helps get you kind of started in the early morning, especially for that sweet tooth if you have one throughout the day. And then herbal tea, just a nice substitute rather than drinking water. I will say this breakfast is light, but we're gonna be good. Lunch will be next, obviously. Get a beet soup, some olives, and some other supplements, and another herbal tea, and then I'll check back in and kind of show you guys what that looks like. I'm gonna flip the camera here. Wow, pretty hair. Last night was rough, I will say. I didn't do anything once I got home because I was just kind of drained. I'm used to eating a lot of calories in the day, around like 15 to 1700, and I work out a lot, so it helps fuel my workouts, where this actually kind of recommends that you take it really easy, so doing just some walking or a lot of stretching rather than exerting your body, since you are consuming such low calories. So I just hung low last night, slept on my couch a lot. I definitely was hungry. Dinner was a soup and another little chocolate bar, so I ate those. I will say the soups are not the best, but they're not horrible, and they do fill you up for what you are kind of needing, and then just pounding as much water as I possibly can to keep me satiated. So this morning I honestly woke up and I'm feeling great. The soup that's for lunch on day 2 here, it's called B Blend. It's the beet based Honestly, pretty good. I like beets, so if you don't like beets, it might be a little bit of a struggle for you, but when you put it with water, the powder really kind of becomes a soup texture, which is really nice. And then here's the supplements that you take. These are honestly probably the hardest thing for me to take just because of the taste of them, but swallow them down, chug some water, you're good. And then you can tell I've already ate all this stuff, but then the olives. So these are the sea salt. These are really yummy just to kind of have a little snack. So I'm eating all of this for lunch in our lunchroom. Of course, there's crumble cookies at my fingertips and I'm pushing it away. I'm trying to stay strong, but. Okay, so let's talk about a little bit of the science behind Prolon. So not only, obviously, the big hype of Prolon is it helps you possibly lose some weight. There are a lot of other factors that are really interesting about Prolon. So the inventor is a biochemist, Italian biochemist that went to USC, and he worked for, and his name is Dr. Longo. He ended up having this idea of cellular rejuvenation and regeneration and how it makes you live longer. And one of the ways he developed this theory was he worked with another doctor from USC, Roy Walford. And Dr. Walford actually developed this whole hypothesis and theory of living longer through starvation when he developed living in bionomes up in certain areas of California to replicate what it would be like to live on a different planet. They realized through this study that they couldn't grow enough food to keep them full or during this process, so they had to go on a very lean diet and almost create into a starvation mode. They did this study for 2 years in these biodomes. So by the time that Dr. Walford actually got out of the biodome, Dr. Longo, the creator of Prolon, noticed like how thin he was, how unhealthy he was. So by going into a starvation mode for too long, your body can't handle it and starts to decompose. Dr. Walford ended up dying of some age and diseases later on that Dr. Longo believes could be linked to going in such a weak starvation mode for too long. So Dr. Longo then decided to start testing what it would be like to go into a type of starvation mode in order to allow us to live longer. So he did study on rats for a long period of time because that is the only animal that a lot of researchers do still study on, unfortunately. But besides the point, what he was finding mostly was his relatable research to cancer. So rats that had, or mice that had cancer, the cells, and then he would inject them with cancer, and then cancer cells, other rats being healthy cells, for that to have a complete study. When the rats then with cancer were put into a starvation mode versus the rats that weren't, all the rats that were not put into a starvation mode actually died. The rats that had the starvation mode plus cancer actually lived. Huge research platform. So at that point, he had to understand that going into a state of starvation will help your cells regenerate. So when we get to that weak point, our cells then want to get rid of all the gunk, everything that is living within inside of them, because they know they need each other to live off of. So we then deplete our glycogen storages, anything that we can use to survive and to get rid of out of all the gunk. That's what's happening in our bodies. It's happening in a short period of time though, so we're not extending it to a 2-year time period. We're really just extending it into that 5-day. That's the money timeline that this researcher decided is the best. So with further studies, not only just on cancer patients, but patients with dementia, patients with Alzheimer's, any type of disease that is associated with age and aging process, that if we can go on a type of starvation diet with energy provided by food, then we have the ability to regenerate our cells and rejuvenate them so that we live longer. It's fascinating, so fascinating. For me, it was a huge selling point because my grandmother has dementia. And so if I could find something like this, a type of diet that allows me to not go on a water starvation for 5 days, but rather be still fueling my body, so it has some nutrients throughout the week, but also I'm getting the cellular regeneration. So it's helping my anti-aging in the fact of diseases that come with that. So really interesting, and I hope that you guys can look into it on a little more of that side. There is a book that we have here at the spa as well, where you can read this total background of how Prolon was developed, all the research that goes along with it. Dr. Longo is a really amazing man for what he's done. He is not the CEO of the company. He really is just a researcher at this point, and he's continuing the research to make sure that this is something that really will help humans live longer. So it's exciting. I wanted to share that. So if you have questions, please come in. I've really sat here and read as much as I possibly can up on the diet to make sure this is definitely something I still want to keep doing. It is recommended that you do Prolon once a month for 3 months a year. To really reap the full benefit of the cellular rejuvenation and regeneration. So this is something that I would love to do continually every year for the rest of my life, if it means that I'm going to put myself in the healthiest state possible. So tonight's dinner, it's day 2 for dinner. We're doing the artichoke-based B-blend soup mix. I heated up my water in the microwave, and you dump all the soup in. There's instructions on the back of all of the soup mixes. So you can see here directions, microwave, stovetop, all those good things. I like to take a fork and just whisk this together, and it instantly starts thickening. This one's actually pretty good. The artichoke doesn't really sound that appealing, but it is. So there's the soup. So it's the end of day 2. I wanted to do a little check-in, let everyone know how I'm feeling. My energy level, surprisingly, through this whole entire day is solid. I had never felt the need that I needed caffeine, that I needed a pick-me-up. I think a lot of things helped with the herbal tea, even though there's no caffeine in it, drinking a lot of water, and then they have this L drink that's kind of your energy drink that you drink throughout the day. So it kept me lively. I'm home now. I finished the soup, about to have my little treat, which is the L bar, a little bit of chocolate. I'm really excited for it. I'll be honest, I'm hungry. I'm really hungry, but I already feel better. I've looked at myself in the mirror, kind of looked at my body, and I'm seeing some changes, which is nice, especially after the weekend that I had. And it's the morning of day 4. I just finished breakfast, which was the L bar and the little chunk of chocolate. I'm also doing an herbal tea this morning. I'm feeling good. I was struggling a little bit yesterday. Day 3 is usually the hardest. So, but today I'm feeling energized. I'm feeling light. I'm feeling like I don't need a cup of coffee or anything like that. I think it's gonna be a great day. Today has a little bit more food than yesterday, so that's always a plus. But really looking forward to kind of ending Prolon now and kind of reaping all the benefits. So stay tuned. Good morning! Today is the end of my Prolon 5-day fast mimicking diet. Today is day 6, so last night was the last day of me going through the system. I honestly felt so good last night. The whole day was a breeze for me. I kept myself busy, and all the food satiated me. I woke up this morning feeling 100, like no bloating. I'm clear-minded, didn't even need a cup of coffee. I'm so energized and like ready to get after my day. Also, I did all my results. I weighed myself, took my measurements, all those things. So I dropped, 7 pounds. 7 pounds. I was at the highest weight I've ever been in a long time. I shared before I was at 134.5, almost 135 pounds. And generally I like to be around 125 to 128. I weighed in this morning at 127. Super exciting for me. And then I lost a total of 3 inches off my waist. I know that I'm probably gonna gain a little bit of this back, but it's like so motivating to me that I just need to keep this going. Eat really healthy, hit the gym hard, and this is exactly what I needed. So if you guys are curious about Prolon and want to know more, please reach out to me, come into the spa, and I'm more than happy to do a whole consultation or just answer any questions that you have. Give me a call. This was 100% worth it. I've recommended it to so many of my friends. It's just amazing. It's a struggle during it, but you almost feel like, yes, I conquered that. I did that. That was hard and I did it. And you get to reap the benefits right away. So it's amazing. I love Prolon and you will too.